From our founding fathers to current leaders on Capitol Hill to teachers in our kids' classrooms, a new book casts a critical eye on those who influence large masses of people.
So what did so many White House scandals over the years show about ethics in our nation's leaders? And what is the true motivation behind America's union leaders? Well, Mark Parker is a Tucson resident and the author of the new book, Integrity. And Mark, there are just so many issues that explode in this book that we're not going to have time to get to all of them.
Correct.
But let's start with your definition of integrity. Like, what do you want people to take away as knowing what integrity is?
Integrity is a person's values, their morals, their ethics, what people think about them. There's a lot of integrity in our society today, and there's a lot of folks that don't have any at all. So as far as our schools go, unions, even clergy have a problem with integrity today. So it's a big deal in our society today.
And have you always been interested in politics, or was this something that you were like kind of got into the scandals of the White House and, you know, all of these different avenues, and then this kind of started taking off?
You know, when I was in Reno, I was talking with an old friend of mine that I grew up with in high school, and we got to talking about politics, we got to talking about business and so forth and so on. And Tommy Burt looked right at me and he says, "Mark, how come somebody hasn't written a book on integrity?" And I looked right at him and I said, "Tom, you're right." The light went on. 2.5 years, Integrity was published. So that's how this all happened, how it started.
It is true, just going through life, you know, we're always going to run into, what do you think we can do about it? You know, just as a community, well, how can people take action instead of just saying, oh, you know, they're unethical and they're our current leader? I mean, I guess voting is one thing we can always do.
I think the first thing is to get involved in your community. Get to know your politicians, get to know your leaders, get to know what they stand for, get to know their backgrounds. And if you have a problem with something in the community, write them a letter, email them, but stay in contact with them and know who they are. Know what's being taught in your children's classrooms. If you don't like something that's being taught, contact the teacher. If that doesn't solve the problem, contact a member of the Board of Education. But get involved and find out what's happening in your kids' schools.
I guess you just have to really be diligent.
Absolutely.
You know, 'cause there's a chain of command.
Right.
In every aspect, every group has some sort of chain of command.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I got a third one here is get involved in your church activities. Talk to your pastor, talk to your bishop, talk to your minister. You'd be amazed on what kind of influence they have in the community. Get involved with them.
Right.
And the fourth one, as you mentioned before, is vote.
Yes.
We have that right to vote.
We do.
And too many people don't. Research the candidates. Know what their values are. Know what they're going to vote on. But do the research. And the main thing, I think, is vote on the issue and not the candidate. Not the party, but the issue.
I agree. Well, Mark, we want to congratulate you on your book. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And there's some surprises in the book, too, right? So people definitely have to pick this up.
Absolutely.
All right, Mark, thank you so much. And you can read more about Mark and his book, Integrity, on his website, parkermarks.com.
Still ahead on the Morning Blend, live music in the studio from local favorite, the Ronstadt Generations.
Plus, the deadly tornadoes that swept through our nation only 2 weeks ago left severe damage, and now we want to help. Learn about all the products